Alright, and welcome back to my playthrough of Oathsworn into the Deepwood. We just finished the second encounter, a little worse for wear as both the Pentient and the priest were taken down in the encounter. However, we still managed to pull through and kill the satyr. And now we will continue our story in Chapter 3, The Keening. We start off with some instructions. Open mystery envelope A and place its contents in the center of the table. Place the free-form company marker on the Broken Oak location, but do not place the location token on the city map. Place the Chapter 3 time track beneath the map with the Path A card. Okay, the mod does all that for us.
Light peeks through the slats of your room in the Broken Oak, teasing you from a good night's sleep free of nightmares. Rising, you grab your gear and head downstairs. Upon entering the main hall, there is no cheer or raised glasses for what you did. After the satyr vanished, there was no proof you could bring to the town of your success. Without a head, there would be no pay. You take solace, though, in the knowledge that the thing is dead, or long gone from these parts. The peace you felt at waking turns to unease as you take in the mood of the hall. Patrons mutter angrily and seem to be stirring up their blood for something to come. Men and women are streaming from the inn to join a procession of others in the street, all heading in the same direction. Fableman Greycane sits in a corner, wearily shaking his head. He sees you and waves you over to sit with him. He gestures to the people and pours your morning bitter tea. "Ignorance," he declares. It is clear from his moves and speech that the storyteller has been drinking, possibly not even gone to bed since last night. Frowning, he looks into your eyes. "Lysine, the apothecary. They took her last night for interrogation. They say she's the witch behind the dreams and the killings. They don't understand. They didn't see what you saw. She's going to die today because of their ignorance. Come, let's see what your mighty victory has done to cure this town." He waves and staggers out the front door of the Broken Oak to the rushing crowds of the street.
Instructions. Place location token 14 and go there.
Light.
I'm pretty sure I can use my traits at any time, so before things get too out of hand, I am going to spend 3 iron, down to 16, to cure one of the priest's injuries. We will cure the internal bleeding one, as that seems like it has the potential to do more damage. Okay, and we will go to location 14, see what happens to the good apothecarian.
The flow of people seems to be all towards the town square. The press of bodies carries you through the streets, and you can see people also positioning themselves on rooftops around the central square, vying for the best viewing. As you shoulder your way through the crowd, you can see a small forest of guardsmen's pikes near the center, a tight cluster around the posts that dominate the crossroads. Finally, you force your way to a position near the front between the podiums, where the nobles and Lord Davenish look on. Lysine, the apothecary, looks around fearfully as they yank her bound wrists to a worn hook over her head on the burning post, and an official rattles off a list of laws and charges.
We have 2 choices. We can either step in and release her, or watch the proceedings. Well, I know for a fact she was not in charge of the mass hallucinations. That was the satyr. And I'm not going to stand by and watch an innocent woman get charged with crimes she did not commit. So we will step in and release her. And we have instructions. All Oathsworn gain a defense token. Thank you kindly.
2 guards immediately step forward and cross their spears in front of you, blocking your path. "You may have done us a great service with the rats," the official says, stopping his listing of offences. "But this witch is Bastone's to burn. Blood for blood, right for right. Your job is done. This is ours." Their quarry bound in place, the guards point their spears to the crowd to move them back. More than one spear is angled to hold you in place. Lysine winces and looks to the crowd angrily. "Haven't I helped you? I tended your wounds, and you pay me with fire? Urging the crowd to silence, the official announces, "This creature has lived among us, as one of us, but no longer. Today Bastone protects you all, and makes safe her people." Another official comes from a side alley, carrying a spluttering torch. He thrusts it skyward, and the town cheers in anticipation. "Holds anyone an objection to this justice?" The crowd around you roars bloodthirsty, "No!"
We can choose one, object to the burning, or let them seek justice. This is not justice, so we will object to the burning. Instructions. All Oathsworn gain a defense token if they have not gained one already from this chat. We already gained one. Aw, what a waste.
I object. The crowd grows silent. "Thank you, thank you," Lysine mutters between broken sobs. Lord Davenish, who has been observing the scene from a raised box, surrounded by his houseguard, leans forward. "You object," he sneers. "You are protectors. This is what you do. Try to free a monster. Let more children vanish in the night." He motions to the official who throws the torch into the oiled wood pile by Lysine's feet. Objection overruled. The smoke curls in thick, oily tendrils that begin to swirl around Lysine. "No," she cries. "I've hurt no one. I've helped this town. I've healed you." She lurches and tries to move away as flames grow and lick at her calves. "You have no idea what you've done. I cannot help you, and I cannot stop what is going to happen now. You are all doomed."
Normally, I don't like to interrupt the story part with memes or edits, but
I gotta sing the doom song now. Doom, 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 doom.
She screams, but it is a sound like nothing you have ever heard. It strikes the base of your skulls, a piercing whine that makes you flinch. Several of the crowd double over as the shockwaves washes through the town square. The flames reach up her legs as she continues the obscene wailing noise. The sound pushes into your spine and assaults your mind as the smell of burning flesh fills the square. The keening scream reaches an unholy crescendo. Her throat should be torn by such a noise. You cover your ears, but it doesn't lessen the pain. The ground shakes. There is screaming from the distant walls of Bastone. Greycane looks at you. "That wasn't her. That sound. Something is coming." There is screaming, rumbling, the sound of shattering stone. People on the rooftops stand and turn. "The Deepwood comes alive," one screams. "It's huge. What is that? Run! The witch brought it."
we have two choices. Choice 1, cut her free. Choice 2, let her burn. I think we know what I'm going to do by now. Instructions. All Oathsworn gain a redraw token.
Something tremendous is pushing through the town. Buildings fall like reeds underfoot as a wave of destruction heads towards you. Rising smoke forms a trail towards the square. She collapses as you cut her free of her bonds and kick at the flames. She is badly blistered. Lysine smiles, her lips cracking. Guards leap up and seize each one of you from behind. "You should have done that earlier," she coughs harshly, taking heaving breaths. I could not stop the keening. I fear." She is cut short by a shuddering of the earth. "Too late," she gasps. The guards release you as there is a vast cracking sound. Up the street, you can see a massive shape snap a building in two. Whatever it is, it's heading for the square.
Instructions. Gain Ally Core 9 Lysine. Add Deepwood Event Core 26 to your Deepwood Event deck and City Event Core 23 to your City Event deck. Lysine's gonna help us now, yay. Oh, damn, Lysine's a hottie. Let's get nice and close for this, huh? Look at that cutie. Why would anyone want to burn her at the stake? Let's go.
"We are breached," Greycane mutters, eyes downcast. He shakes his head and sets off at a run towards the broken oak. Over his shoulder he shouts, "Please, save those you can." You know as well as Greycane what this means. No town can survive a breach like this. That beast cannot be felled. The Deepwood will flood into the town, and everyone will be dead in a span of days. There is only one hope: to escape the doom of Bastone and reach Verum.
Damn, that took a turn. Bastone's fallen after 3 chapters. Instructions. You must escape Bastone. The beast is rampaging through the town, and you must avoid it at all costs. As you escape, you need to find rations for your journey, track the amount of rations you have for a tracker token, and you may choose to take any refugees you meet with you to Verum. You do not have to take anyone, and you know that the larger the group moving through the Deepwood, the more dangerous the Deepwood becomes. Every person will be another mouth to feed on the long journey, but without you, they are surely doomed.
Ooh, what's that?
Barreling towards a town square, the beast shoulders aside buildings and swallows men whole. It stops at an intersection and snorts, pawing the street with a front claw and easily tearing up the stone like a bull on a dirt path. An oily smoke oozes from the creature's neck that wreathes it in a dark cloud, the smoke seething like ink in water. Those unfortunate enough to be near it seize and claps in violent convulsions. Behind you, Lord Davenish bellows from his raised box, surrounded by a company of his houseguard. "To arms, men! For your lord and Bastone! Slay the beast!" Several men begin to charge, but many more falter at the sight of the thing. Something alights in its tremendous eyes. Massive rear legs force the storm-grey armoured hulk forward. In mere breaths, it is in the square. Davenish freezes in disbelief as the sun above him is blotted out, and a claw the size of a merchant's cart descends on him. Where he stood is now merely a fine crimson mist. Without pausing, the terror of Bastone careens onwards.
Instructions. Place locations 10, 13, and 20. 10 is the palace, 13 is the broken oak, and 20 is the stockade. Place the free company marker and any clue token on location 14. This clue token is the beast marker and represents the position of the beast as it moves through the city.
The beast is barreling through the town square. It has come from the east, breaking through Bastone's outer wall, and now curves off to its right. You must stay away from it in order to escape. You are positioned so that 3 paths are open to you.
Instructions. You're about to choose a location to go to. If you choose location 20, take the Path B card before you go there. We're going to go to location 13, the Broken Oak. We probably have some gear, maybe a friend or two there. Let's get them out, right?
Greycane appears from a side alley with a bundle of leather-bound papers under his arm. "A welcome sight," Greycane calls as you make your way to the Broken Oak. "Bram is inside. Help me." Running inside, Innkeeper Bram is found standing on a table. He is surrounded by patrons like some drunken preacher with his congregation. "Let's go, folks. It's on the house," Bram shouts. "Pour a mug of drink, you lass. You can't take it with you. Let's go for the oak." The patrons shout toasts of death and drink, most of the drink pouring wildly over their faces. Bram raises his mug and loses his footing, crashing to the floor as the table tips. "Help me get him up," Greycane says, lifting Bram to his feet. "He's a bit overwhelmed." Bram gurgles. "And I thought I was drunk," Greycane mumbles as he works to hoist him up. "These people will surely die if they stay."
Well, I'm going to try to persuade them to come. I'm not sure how successful I'll be.
Commanding the patrons to listen to you, you try to get them off the stools to rally to you.
Instructions. Perform a reasoning check difficulty 3. If you succeed, gain ally cards 7 and 8, Greycane and Bran. In addition, the patrons decide they want to come with you as refugees. On the time track, replace location token 13 with a time token and gain location token 13. Place it in front of you and gain 2 rations. Remember to track the amount of rations you have with a tracker token. We're going to do 3. Oh, let me make sure you can see this. And let us see how we do. That is a fail. Oh well, these guys are just gonna drink until they die, I suppose.
You retrieve your travel rations from your room.
Well, at least this wasn't a complete waste. We gained 2 rations. Move the beast marker to location 10 and remove location tokens 10 and 20 if they're still on the city map. Place the location tokens 5 and 12 and 19. Okay.
You see a cloud of dust rise from the palace. Time to move.
Okay, so we have locations 5, 12, and 19. 19 is the banksmith, 12 is the market, and 5 is the barracks. I'm not sure if the banksmith would have food. I guess we could buy supplies, but I think we're okay right now for supplies. So I'm pretty sure the barracks can probably handle themselves in the event of an emergency. So we are going to go to location 12, the market, and try to help people out there maybe.
The market is filled with looters, knocking over carts and stalls, climbing over each other as they grab what food and weapons they can before fleeing to the main gate. You know you will also need rations in the Deepwood. You see an overturned grocery cart with a dozen people swarming it. You also see a tinker's stall with a man beneath it. It still has a few iron items left on top.
We have 3 choices. We can go for the food, go for the iron, or refrain from looting. Well, it's the end of the world, so I don't think we're going to refrain from looting, but we will focus on getting the rations.
You wade into the mass of humanity to retrieve what rations you can.
Okay, we have 2 choices. Draw swords and fight the people for the food, or try to threaten the people away from the food. I'm not going to attack these people, like, the end of the world is already here. I don't no sense in speeding it up a bit. So I will try to threaten these people. Instructions. Perform a threatening check at difficulty 5. Ooh, that's going to be tough. For 5, do I hope for a crit? Or try to roll 4? YOLO. We'll try to roll 4 and see what we get. Oh, we got it! And we didn't even miss anything. 2, 1, 2, 3. So, we succeed.
You calmly stride up to the cart. Your cold stare is enough to make the people retreat from your advance. You take what rations you can gather and leave the tide of people crashing back together in your wake.
Instructions. Gain 2 rations. Remember to track the amount of rations we have. So we are at 4. Very good.
You hear screaming. The creature is trampling the barracks as you run for the banksmiths.
Instructions. Move the beast marker to location 5 and remove that location from the city map. Then go to location 19. Location 19, the blacksmith. If you have the Gamel ally card, I do have Gamel, don't I? Yeah, I got him. He's a good guy. If you have Forge Breaker keyword on your company sheet, if Gamel is not your ally. So yeah, we will do the Gamel is our ally option.
Looks like my selling days are over. Gamel pants as you go up to his shop. The door is shattered, as it is clear the townspeople have scoured the place, trying to arm themselves. Let's see what's left. I'm sure they didn't get through every lock.
Instructions. Reveal all cards from the Chapter 3 common item deck. Each Oathsworn gains any 1 item from it. Shuffle the deck afterwards. Fantastic! Here are our options. Everybody gets 1. There's a bow. So yeah, Chuck Norris, our ranger, will take the bow. turn his yellow cube into a red cube. I think the priest will take the iron ring mail, give him 1 extra defense. He needs it. Yeah, thief's gonna get the pickaxe to replace. Yeah, the pickaxe would replace Gamel's gavel. And last is the Pentient. We're just gonna get that heater shield back. And we'll keep that in.
Outside, you look down the street. In the distance, you can see the broken oak for the briefest moment before it explodes in a shower of timber and stone. The beast's head emerges from the wreckage and turns down the street towards you. The main gate is not far off, and you hear a great clamour of voices from that direction.
Instructions. Perform a reasoning check, difficulty 5. Oh, Lord. We're not very reasonable here. Should I just try for the 4 dice again? I mean, it worked well last time, so yeah, let's just YOLO it. And we get it again. Just roll 4 dice. It's fine.
The sounds from the main gate are wrong. It is panic you are hearing. Too many of the townsfolk must be trying to exit through the small gate, and it is turning into a crush. You don't think you'll be able to escape that way.
Instructions. Move the beast location. Move the beast marker to location 13. And remove all location tokens from the map. Place locations 22 and 24. 22 is the main gate. 24 is the burrows. You have a choice. Either go to the main gate or the burrows. I feel like, yeah, the sounds of the main gate are wrong. It's a panic. So we are going to location 24, the burrows. Instructions. Move the beast marker to location 19 and remove location token 22 if it is still on the city map.
Families cower in the darkened doorways of the burrows as you hear the banksmith shatter in a cacophony of iron and stone. The thing will be headed this way soon.
We have 2 options. If we have a midge as an ally or otherwise, and we do have midge as an ally.
Midge breaks from your side and runs to move a beam that is blocking the entrance to a small terraced building. People's faces can be seen within the houses. "This is my street. Can you help them?" he calls back to you. "I might know another way out. Take them with you and I'll show you." Do you stop to help the people, or do you keep moving?
Instructions. Place location tokens 20 and 25. We already removed 20. I guess we just put it back. Don't worry, Midge. We're here to help you.
Between you, you heave the fallen timber aside, and people stream from the entrance.
Instructions. If you take these refugees with you, on the time track replace location token 24 with a time token and gain location token 24 placed in front of you. Gain 1 ration, all Oathsworn gain a redraw token. Yeah, we're gonna take these refugees with us. We're nice people. We gain a ration, so we're up to 5 now. And all Oathsworn gain a redraw token.
A cloud of dust and debris rises nearby. "We have to move," Midge pants. "Now! There's a sally port through the wall south of here for supplies during a siege. No one will be there. Only a few of us know it. Trust me."
Instructions. Place location token 27.
A cloud of...
We are going to trust Midge and go through the sally port, location 27. Instructions. Take the path Acor if you don't have it already. Remove all location tokens from the map.
You violently tug at the corroded iron bars of the sally port. This poorly maintained supply entrance has been tightly sealed by rust and decay. The beast burrows through the poorer streets of the town, headed toward you.
Instructions. Move the beast marker to location 24. Perform a round of combat against defense 4. Oathsworn, do not lose a hit point for failing this check. Okay, and if we do a total of 4 hit points with more damage or otherwise, so let's see how we do. Kerr will be rolling 2 yellows, so let's see what we get. Crit 3. 5. So we're up to 5. I don't know if we need to if it matters if we do more than 4. But let's just do everything just to be safe. Chuck Norris is going to roll a red and a white. He did 1. As will Priest will be rolling a red and a white. For 4. And the Penitent will do a yellow and a white. So we did a lot. We did 5, 10, 14. We did 15 points of damage. Well, for the purposes of this encounter. Instructions! All Oathsworn gain an empowered 3. Very good.
You hack at the mechanism of the sally port. Great clangs peel the door. It creaks, then cracks open as you force its hinges to turn. On the other side, a pack of things from the Deepwood await you. Drawn by the clamour, they claw at you through the opening. The alleyway starts to fill with gibbering and chattering as the creatures force their way into Bastone.
We have 2 options, if Lysine is with you or otherwise. We did save Lysine, so...
The beasts scrabble through the sally port, forcing you back. You slay a handful as you retreat, but others climb over the bodies. There are simply too many of them. You grip your blades and grit your teeth. You will blood them well before they take you. Then Lysine steps in front of you. She limps, but a cold fury plasters her face. Something in her posture warns you to step back. A wind throws up her hair as she flings out her arms towards the oncoming creatures. There is a smell of iron, and the hair on your arms stand up. Blood begins to rise from where it rested in pools between the bodies on the floor. The beasts continue on, oblivious to what is happening. Twisting and curling, the blood takes shape, coalescing into tendrils and spikes. The blood boils, and then Lysine screams. 100 shards of burning blood pierce through the mass of creatures. Primal yelps go up, and a dozen bodies fall. More blood soaks the earth as more of the Deepwood denizens come on. Lysine looks up at them with hatred and with intense concentration, snaps her fingers. The blood explodes. Lysine vomits at what she has just done. The scene is one of carnage, like something from a Cistercian apocalyptic. She lulls, and one of you catches her as she falls unconscious. The pack is destroyed. But then, behind you, a shadow looms. The street is consumed by the giant armoured head of the doom of Bastone. Wreathed in smoke and fumes, its eyes fall on you. You cannot outrun it. It is too close. A sense of finality, of certainty, settles on you. So it comes to this. You know what needs to be done. Someone has to distract it, must lure it away, so the others may make good their escape. But that person will surely die.
Instructions. You must choose. Will one of you lay down their life for the others and take up this heroic act? You will lose that Oathsworn in doing so. I was not expecting this. Especially not this early. I mean, you know what? The priest has lived a good life. He's done his holy work. Morbius is going to go in there one last time and give it all it's got to protect the greater good.
You swore an oath to protect this town. You can't save them all, but you can save some. Grim-faced, you pluck up a flaming torch from the ground.
Instructions. Would you like to say any last words to the party? I have 3.
It's Morbin time.
Hefting your weapon, you raise the torch aloft and charge back up the street. The beast, seeing the flame hurtling towards it, withdraws for a moment, and that is all you need to dart down a side alley. The mighty creature rears up and crushes a terrace of houses before clawing its way after you. You hear the rest of the Free Company making good their escape, not wasting a second of their precious chance you have bought them. The beast thunders behind you, but you are oddly peaceful. You make it 100 paces before it reaches you. People spend all their years trying to find a meaning to life, and you find it now in a good death.
Instructions. Your Oathsworn dies. Create a new level 3 Oathsworn using the quick leveling system in the rules. Your free company gains a free company trait. Record your choice in the free company sheet. Add city event cord 16 to the city deck. Okay, I am choosing the scavenger free company trait. Loot 1 extra common item per chapter. Seems good enough. And I will create a new character off screen. Probably going to pick up the Warbear, but I don't know, I'll think on it. I'm thinking either the Warbear or the Witch.
You press into the Deepwood as Bastone dies. The walls are broken, as are her people. Screams and wails saturate the air, an anthem of death rolling from Bastone. You turn to see it one last time. Men hurl themselves from the walls, claiming their own lives before the monsters can. Great fissures swallow sections of the wall. The titanic beast continues to pound the city to dust. You press on.
Instructions. All Oathsworn gain a redraw token. The new characters that are going to have a whole lot less tokens for the battle.
You put distance between you and the city. Around you, clusters of people dive through the underbrush, only to disappear moments later, followed by a thing of nightmare. There is no wire road. There is no path. Your weapons sing as you slice through vines and roots. Mud, blood, and tears wash over every survivor who's made it this far.
2 choices if we have the Grey Cane ally card, and otherwise. We did not convince Grey Cane to stop drinking, so we will have to do otherwise. If we have the Midge ally card or otherwise, we didn't manage to save Midge, so.
Up ahead, you see shadows around a tree. You slow, and as you get closer, you see Grey Cane nonchalantly leaning against its trunk. Bram is at his feet, tapping ale from a barrel on the ground into a clutched mug in his shaking hand. Grey Cane smiles. Not bad for your first doomed town escape, but I'm sure you'll do better next time. Bram begins to weep, and Grey Cane puts his arm around his friend. Chin up, mate. It's not as bad as your root porridge. If we can survive that, we can survive this. Bram lets out a single, snotty laugh. Grey Cane continues. Survive. For them. While you live, Bastone lives. Keep on. Grey Cane leaves the man and walks over. People need to know what happened here. We have to reach Verum.
Instructions. Gain ally cords 7 and 8. Grey Cane and Bram. Alright, the whole crew's here.
Thankfully, your lifeline is still with you. You look down at your compass. You know Verum lies to the southeast, but you could miss it by miles if you don't find the wire road. A sudden noise whips your head up. Not one noise, but many noises. The party gathers around you, and you steady your breath, ready to receive an attack. A large group of people burst from the underbrush, flailing and clutching at bags of supplies and belongings. There are at least a dozen civilians. They are terrified. Catching your eye, a woman rushes towards you. Help us, please, it's coming. You are about to ask what, when...
Instructions. Perform a survival check difficulty 4. Instructions. All Oathsworn get a battle flow token. Thank you, Kerr.
Gnarled branches begin to sway. Not the wind, something else. You press your ears to the nearest sickly tree. The vibrations. You know what this is.
Do I know what this is? Instructions. Reveal the encounter special rules board. Mark the special rules box for chapter 3 on your company sheet. Okay. I guess I do know what this is. Okay, so the encounter card is a worm, large, immune to knockback. Start of encounter, one Oathsworn, the player's choice, takes the vibration token. Use attacker to represent this. Sense vibration. If this stage card was drawn during the encounter phase, then whoever has the vibration token is the worm's target. If this stage card is drawn as a reaction, then the worm will target the one who caused the damage as usual. The worm never needs line of sight to target someone. During their turn, a character can choose to take the token from another character if they wish. In addition, a character may force a vibration token onto a civilian when they make them move. Place the token next to the civilian on the board. If that civilian dies with the vibration token, give it to the closest Oathsworn. Huge. The worm has 3 body parts, the head, belly, and tail. Each body part counts as a different enemy. The worm has no facing, and it does not matter which direction it is turned when moved or placed. Attacking the head of the worm always counts as attacking the front, the belly counts as the flank, and the tail counts as the rear. When damaging the worm, you may choose any die on the body part to damage before damage is drawn. Do not remove a body part when all of its dice are removed. Instead, it can no longer be damaged but still acts as normal. It will attack with 2 black dice and 2 red dice. It has a defense value of 3. Movement. When the worm moves, all movement is measured from the head. Firstly, pick up the tail and place it where the belly is. Then pick up the belly and place it where the head is. Lastly, move the head to its new location. When the worm's head moves, it will move around its own body parts rather than move through them. If ever the worm head is placed on the game board and would enter hexes for another body part, instead place it to the closest hexes to the selected hex so that it does not occupy the same hexes as the body. Save the civilian. There are 10 civilians in the center of the map, and you may try to protect them if you wish. Civilians will die if they receive any damage, but can be protected by moving them off the board edge. Instead of playing the ability card on your turn, you may move an adjacent civilian up to 4 hexes by spending 1 animus. This is free if you are a companion or ally. Each peasant may be moved only once per round.
Nobody move, you cry. The free company immediately comply, as do most of the civilians. Not enough, though. One man panics and begins to run for a tree. The vibrations intensify. The earth around you churns as you feel the immensity of it moving beneath your feet. The earth around the runner bulges upwards, and serrated tusks burst from the ground. The man screams as he plummets into a great maw, and the worm rises. The head extends 15 feet from the ground as the eyeless mass of pallid flesh turns towards the group, hungering. It cannot see you, but it can sense your presence.
Instructions. Record how many rations you have, the number on the tracker token, on your free company sheet, then lose the tracker token. Okay, we have 5. Then place all your refugee tokens, time tokens, and location tokens in the free company bag. I believe that's just 24. Proceed to Chapter 3, Encounter in the Encounter book. Next is the encounter. Instructions. After the encounter, continue to epilogue. Okay. That was it for this story. We lost Morbius, but we gained somebody else. We'll know next round. We'll know next video. Probably the war bear. He's just cool. Look at him. He's a big old fluffy bear. Until then, have a good one.